Hey guys, MythPat here. Today, we're going to talk about getting internet from space. Sounds strange, but with Starlink, it's true. Elon Musk and his team are sending thousands of satellites up there. These satellites talk to each other and to your Starlink dish, which is called Dishy McFlatface. Cool name, right? Basically, satellites beam the internet to your dish, and bam, you're online. It's like having a super powerful Wi-Fi network that covers the whole world. This is a big deal for people who live in remote areas and don't have good internet access. No more buffering, guys. Now you might be thinking, MythPat, those satellites move really fast. How will they stay connected to my dish? Is it even possible to maintain a connection with satellites moving that fast? Excellent question. Starlink's satellites are in low Earth orbit, which means they're constantly zooming around the Earth. These satellites are about 340 miles high and complete an orbit every 90 minutes. But don't worry, Starlink has a solution for that too. They've developed some very advanced technology that solves this problem. Dishy McFlatface is really smart. It has motors that allow it to move and tilt, so it can follow the satellites as they move across the sky. This dish automatically adjusts itself so your connection never drops. Plus, the satellites are constantly talking to each other, so even if one satellite goes out of range, your connection seamlessly switches to another satellite. It's a very efficient network that stays connected all the time. It's like having a backup internet connection in space. Even if one satellite fails, your internet connection will stay up. This redundancy system makes your internet experience very reliable. You might be thinking that this Dishy McFlatface looks like your old TV satellite dish. You're right, they look similar, but Dishy is much more advanced. Traditional TV dishes passively receive signals. Think of it like listening to a radio station. Dishy, on the other hand, can both send and receive data. It's like talking on a walkie-talkie instead of just listening to the radio. This two-way communication is what makes those super fast internet speeds possible. We're talking about downloading games in minutes. Let's take a peek inside and see what makes Dishy McFlatface tick. This is going to be a fascinating journey, so buckle up. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it seems. We'll break it down in simple terms so everyone can enjoy it. Inside that sleek white dome, you'll find some impressive tech. This tech is so advanced, it'll blow your mind. First, there are the motors we talked about, which help Dishy move and track the satellites. These motors are very precise and perform each movement accurately. They're like tiny robots that make sure you're always connected. These robots are always active and quickly fix any disruptions. Then there's the circuit board, which is the brain of the operation. This board is very complex and has many layers that perform different functions. It has tons of microchips that process all the incoming and outgoing data. These microchips are very fast and manage data in real time. And of course, how can we forget the antenna array? This array is crucial, and without it, communication wouldn't be possible. This is where the magic happens. This technology is so advanced that you'll be amazed by how it works. It's made up of hundreds of tiny antennas that work together to send and receive signals. These antennas are very efficient and transmit and receive each signal accurately. Section 5. Antennas. Catching signals like a boss. Okay, time for a little science lesson. Each antenna on Dishy is like a tiny radio tower. It sends and receives electromagnetic waves. These waves are how information travels through the air, like an invisible messenger. When you browse the internet, your data is turned into these waves and sent to Dishy. Dishy's antennas catch these waves and send the information to the satellite. Then, the satellite beams that data back down to Earth, where another Dishy receives it. It's like a super fast game of catch, but with invisible waves. Section 6. Beamforming, focusing power for speed. Now, this is where things get even more interesting. Remember all those tiny antennas on Dishy? They don't just sit there. They work together in a process called beamforming. Imagine you have a flashlight. Its beam spreads out, right? Beamforming is like taking that flashlight and focusing it into a super powerful laser beam. Dishy's antennas can electronically steer the signal, focusing it on a specific satellite. This concentrated beam means faster internet speeds and less interference. It's like having your own dedicated lane on the information superhighway. Section 7. Steering the beam. It's like magic, but science. You might be wondering how Dishy knows where to point its superpowered beam. The answer, once again, is smart technology. Dishy uses something called a phased array. This means it can electronically steer the beam without any moving parts. It uses GPS to figure out its location and gets information from the Starlink network to know where the satellites are. Then, it calculates the perfect angle to send and receive data. It's like having a super accurate GPS for your internet connection. Section 8. Data party sending tons of information. In this section, we will dive deep into the fascinating world of data transmission and explore how vast amounts of information are sent across the globe in the blink of an eye. Now, let's talk about how all that data actually travels through the air. Data travels through the air as radio waves, which are a type of electromagnetic wave. Starlink uses radio waves, just like your Wi-Fi, but much faster. These waves are so fast that they can transmit millions of gigabytes of data in a single second. To cram even more information into those waves, they use a technique called 64 QAM modulation. This technique divides the data into small packets, which makes data transmission even more efficient. Don't get lost in the technical jargon. It's important to understand how complex this process is, but we can simplify it for better understanding. Think of it this way. Imagine you have a box and you need to fit as many toys as possible. The more toys you can fit, the more efficient your data transmission will be. 64 QAM is like having a special way of arranging those toys so you can fit many more in the same space. More toys, more fun. Similarly, more data packets, more information transfer. This technique helps compress the data and transmit it efficiently. Section 9. Making videos smaller. The H.264 Trick. Speaking of making information smaller, have you ever wondered how YouTube videos stream so smoothly? It's not just because of fast internet. Starlink also uses some clever tricks to make data smaller without sacrificing quality. One of these tricks is H.264 video compression. Imagine you have a really big pizza. H.264 is like cutting that pizza into smaller slices, making it easier to share and deliver. It shrinks video files so they can be transmitted faster and more efficiently. More pizza for everyone. Section 10. McFlatface's conclusion. Starlink is the future, bro. So there you have it, folks. Starlink is using cutting-edge technology to beam internet from space. From self-adjusting dishes to beam-forming antennas and data compression, it's changing the way we connect to the online world. No more lag in Fortnite. This is just the beginning, my friends. As more Starlink satellites launch, the network will become even faster and more powerful. Get ready for the future of the internet, because it's going to be out of this world. Section 11. Special thanks and let's chat. A big shout out to Elon Musk and the entire Starlink team for making this incredible technology a reality. You guys are changing the world. And of course, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think about Starlink in the comments below. Are you excited about the future of the internet? Hit that like button and subscribe for more awesome tech videos.